Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. So let me know the chat section first of all कि my voice is clearly audible to you and also my video is clearly visible to you. So just let me know in the chat section. Hello everyone. Good evening everyone. Good evening. Okay. So I have started to get the messages from all of you that everything is clear. Okay. So I am clearly audible and also I am clearly visible to you. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So I've enabled a setting now in which your messages is not going to shown to each other's messages. Your messages will be directly delivered to me only, right? So I have enabled a setting in which co-host and host can read your messages, right? You won't be able to read out each other's messages. Okay. Good evening, Akansha. Everything is clear, I think. Okay, so let's move ahead. So So what we did in the previous class, let me know in the chat section. I want to check if you were attentive in the previous class or not. Just give me a brief idea about what we did in the first class itself. Everyone, I want everyone to be participative, huh? Okay. So it is not going to be a one-way communication. It's going to be a two-way communication class. It is going to be a highly interactive class, I must say. Okay. Everyone, I want everyone to answer. Hello, Nilesh. Yeah. Okay. Vijay saying accounting concept. Dhaval is saying economic events. Hello, Nilesh. What we did in the previous class? Let me know. Everyone. Yeah. Now I've started to get the answers. Gap accounting processes. Okay. Meaning of accounting, basis of accounting, theory is right. Everyone is correct. Okay. So I'm glad to see you have attended the class very seriously and you know what we did in the previous class. Okay. Good, Akansha. We did basics of accounting. Very good. Okay. So chalo, I'm sharing my screen with all of you and let's start today's class and this is going to be a very, very important class. So what we are going to do in our today's class. So this class is going to be very important from the accounts point of view because today we are going to understand how to record the transactions. So I'm going to take away all your fears with regards to debit and credit entries. So we are going to deal with the debit and credit entries and I'm going to show you how to debit an account and what account should be debited and what account should be credited, right? So let's begin. Okay. Yeah, Nilesh, correct. Basics of accounting, accounting principles. Very good. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with all of you. Just let me know when it is shared to you. So now you can see my screen, isn't it? Everyone, let me know in the chat section. Everyone, can you see my screen? Okay, so everyone is saying yes. Okay, chalo. So we are doing this live crash course for the SEBI Grade A 2024, isn't it? Now we have already done our first class in which we discussed about the basics of accounting and we also discussed about the accounting principles, right? This is the second class and the third class is going to be tomorrow and first three class are going to be live streamed on the YouTube as well. But after the third class, we are only going to be conducting this crash course on for the enrolled students only, right? So if you haven't enrolled in this course, you must do that before we end our third class, right? And what you are going to get in this crash course, you are going to get every thing related to your preparation in 150 plus hours and you will be provided 75 live classes with recorded concept classes as well. Whatever I am teaching to you, that will be provided to you in the recorded format as well, and the classes PDF is also going to be provided to you, and we have 8,000 chapter wise quizzes as well that will be provided to you, and you will be given the summary sheets as well and the current affairs PDFs as well, right? So to avail this course, what you need to do, you need to go to the EduTap website you are going to go, and from there you can choose to purchase this course and you must apply this code of SEBI 55 to avail the discount of flat 55% off, and that's how you're going to purchase this course only at 6,300. I'm going to show you where you are going to find it in the course, right? So when you will go to the EduTap website now, here is the website of EduTap. In this, when you are going to click on the courses, then you are going to find SEBI Grade A courses generalist. You are going to click on it, right? And after that, you are going to scroll down. Then you are going to find here SEBI Grade A live crash course phase 1, phase 2, right? Chat section first of all. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay. So this is the crash course we have. And after this, you are going to download this brochure to have a detailed schedule of our classes. So this is the schedule we have in the crash course, and you are going to look at this schedule very in a very detailed manner to understand what will be the flow of our classes. So first of all, we are going to cover commerce and accountancy subject. Then we are going to start with the economics part as well, and then management. And similarly, we are going to cover all the components of this SEBI Grade officer exam, right? So everyone is clear about the classes that we are going to have in our crash courses, right? So let's move back to the content, right? Okay, so we have this. So we are today doing this second class, and okay, so students are telling me, sir, please get back to the content. So basically, I have to show you na ki how to purchase a crash course for the YouTube candidates, isn't it? So that's my duty to do. That's my duty to show you, right? Okay. So what we are going to do in our today's class, we are going to understand how to record the transaction itself in the accounts book, right? And what is going to be our flow. So first of all, we are going to understand what is the meaning and format of general, right? So first of all, we are going to understand what is general book and what are journal entries. And after understanding the format and meaning of general, we are going to understand types of account and why we are doing this types of account to understand how to do journal entries. Then we are going to understand about the rules of accounting. By understanding these rules of accounting, you will be easily doing the debit and credit entries, and you will be having a good hold on the concept of what to debit and what to credit, right? Then we will briefly talk about the accounting equation, though we have talked about accounting equation in our previous class as well, but again we are going to do that briefly. Then I'm going to give you a shortcut as well. This is very important, huh? So I'm going to tell you one more way, one a very efficient way to determine what account to debit and what account to credit by using this accounting equation only, right? So this is the another way to do debit and credit entries. I'm going to show you how to do this effectively, right? Then we are going to solve some MCQs and practical questions. Then we are going to understand what is ledger, and then we are going to move towards the brief explanation of the subsidiary books, and again we are going to do MCQs. So this will be the flow of our class today, right? So let's start with the first topic of the day. Good evening, Vikas. Okay, so let's start with the first topic of the day, that is meaning and the format of general, right? So first of all, let's try to understand what is general. So general is books of original entry. Please listen to me very carefully. It is books of original entry. So general book is going to be the first place. It is going to be the first place where all the transactions are going to be recorded. And the process of recording the transactions, we call it generalizing. Suppose we are a company, we are the accountants, right? And we are paying salary to our employees. So we are going to record this transaction in our accounts book, isn't it? So the book in which we are going to first record this transaction, we call that book general book, right? And the process of recording this thing, we call it generalizing. So it is going to provide a complete record of each and every transaction in one place, and it is going to link debit and credit of each transaction, right? So you need to understand that journal is the first place where you are going to record your entries, right? And after preparing the journal, they will be transferred to individual accounts. We call it posting. And the individual accounts in which we are going to post these entries, we call it ledger account. These individual accounts, we call it ledger accounts, right? So let me just off the annotation for others. Okay, so that nobody can okay, nobody can basically write in the PPT itself. Okay, so now you know what is the posting, right? And what is the general entry. Now Again, book of original entry where all transactions are going to get recorded in the chronological order. And then after this, this is going to be transferred to or posted to individual accounts. And these individual accounts, we call them ledger account, and the process of posting to the individual accounts, we call that process posting. Is it clear, everyone? Everyone is clear about the journal entry? Ki what is primarily the journal entry? We are going to understand how to debit, how to credit. That is a different thing. But first of all, you need to understand now why we are using general book, why we are doing entries, why we are where we are writing our transaction on the very first place, right? Now, what is the format of journal? See, whenever you are going to do the journal entry, first of all, you need to understand that at least two accounts are going to get affected from any transaction. Please listen to me very carefully. Suppose we have this example, goods purchased on credit for rupees 30,000 from Miss Govin Traders on December 24, 2014. Right? Now, this transaction is involving two account. Which two account? First of all, from the Miss Govind, goods are getting purchased. So first account that is getting impacted here is purchase account because we are buying goods, isn't it? Now, second account that is getting impacted here is Miss Govind Traders. So you have two accounts that are getting impacted here in this particular transaction, right? So what is the format? First of all, you need to write a account which is going to be debited. So first of all, you are going to write an account which is going to be debited. Just understand the pattern, just understand the format. We will discuss what to debit, what to credit. Don't worry about that. Just understand the format right now. So first of all, you are going to write the date. Then whatever account is going to be debited, you are going to write it down. Then the amount, the debit amount, you are going to write it here. Then below the debit account, you are going to write another account which is going to get credited, and in front of it you are going to write the amount that is being credited. Everyone clear about the format? First you need to write an account which is going to be debited, and below that the account which is going to get credited. Everyone clear? Okay. So now, to understand how this format, in this format of journal, what to debit and what to credit, you need to know the types of account. We have discussed now that there are two accounts that are getting impacted in our this transaction, isn't it? But you need to understand what type of account we have overall to know which account to debit and which account to credit. This is going to be very important. Listen to me very carefully, everyone. Here. Okay. Okay, Aditya is asking, for every transaction only two accounts gets affected, or at least two. At least two account is going to get affected. Not necessarily ki only two accounts are going to get impacted. At least two, right? Okay. So let's understand what are the types of account so that you know what to debit and what to credit. So we have three accounts primarily: personal account, real account, and the nominal account. Let's understand each account one by one very briefly. What is this personal account? So any account that relates to any person. Focus here. Everyone, please focus here. Any account that relates to any person is going to be a personal account. So it might be an artificial person like companies, and it might be a real person like individuals, right? So firms, associations, companies, right? And the individuals, they all are considered to be personal account, and identification is very clear. It is representing the person. The identification, how to identify this is a personal account, it is representing someone, right? So it will be personal account like Suraj, ABC Company Limited, etc. Now let's talk about the real account. What is real account? Understand this very carefully. It is very easy. Wherever any ledger account reflects the transaction that relates to the assets and liabilities. We have understood in our previous class what is asset and what is the liability, right? So any account that relates to the asset account or the liability account, that is going to be included in the real account. That means we have cash account, that is going to be a real account. We have machinery account, that is going to be a real account. We have cash account, accounts receivable account, accounts payable account. So every asset or liability account is going to be included in the real account itself. right? Now let's talk about the nominal account. See, whatever account, if account is not getting included in either personal account or real account, it must be included in the nominal account. So all the other accounts which are not included in personal and real, that will be nominal account. For example, all the income accounts, all the expenses account are going to be included in the nominal account itself, right? Even your profit loss account is your nominal account because it is not personal account, it is not real account, so it will be included in the nominal account. Everyone is clear? We have discount receipt, we have salary account, so all the expenses, all the incomes, we are going to include that into the nominal account itself. Okay, now you understood what are the types of account. Now please, I'm going to ask you a few questions, you have to answer me in the chat section, okay? For now, so we have a transaction. Company X starts its business with a capital of rupees 1 lakh rupees, right? So now tell me which two accounts are getting impacted here without looking at the screen and without looking at the answer. Try to use your mind, right? You need to apply your mind as well throughout this class so that you have a better clarity of all the concept. Tell me in the chat section which two accounts are getting impacted here. I'm going to hide this slide, in fact. Okay, now tell me, you have invested money in your business, right? And you are contributing 1 lakh rupees in your business. Which two accounts are getting impacted here? Tell me in the chat section. Everyone, I want everyone to answer me in the chat section. Everyone. Tell me. Okay, so I have started to get the answers from all of you. That's very nice. That's very nice. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm really proud to see you all are very attentive. That's good. Okay. So the capital account and the cash account, right? Now try to identify. See, for the general entry, for doing the general entry, first you need to identify which two accounts or which accounts are getting impacted. Then you need to identify in the category, in which category they are. So capital account is your personal account. Tell me, for the YouTube viewers as well and for the Zoom viewers as well, I'm asking you a question. Why capital account we are including this in the personal account? Tell me in the chat section, everyone. Why we are including capital account in the category of personal account? Why not real account or why not the nominal account? Tell me. Okay, so I started to get the answers. Tell me. Mm, yeah, one guy I've got the answer from one guy, which is correct. Though everyone is trying to answer me, but the exact answer here is this capital account. This capital account is representing the owner itself. This capital account is representing the person who has contributed the money. And what we have studied in the personal account, it represents the person. I have told you. So this is the logic you have. This is how you apply your logic, right? So why capital account is a personal account? Because it is representing the person who has contributed money in the business. That's why capital account is a personal account, right? Now, second account that is going to that is impacting here, that is getting impacted here is cash account, and we all know this cash account comes in the category of real account because it is an asset, right? Second question is rents a property worth rupees 25,000. Now we are as a company renting our property. So first account will be rent account and another account will be 25,000. Rent account is a nominal account because if we are giving rent, then it's an expense. But if we are receiving cash by giving by basically giving our property to someone else, then also it's an income account. In both the cases, it is nominal account. So all the income and expenses account are considered to be nominal account. So cash account, you already know. Third question is purchased goods worth rupees 50,000 on credit from the company Y. So now we have two accounts. First account is purchase account. First account is purchase account and second account is company Y account. Company Y account. Now this purchase account, tell me why this purchase account is nominal account. I want everyone to answer in the chat section. Why this purchase account and we are considering it as a nominal account? Why? Tell me in the chat section. Everyone in the YouTube as well and in the Zoom as well. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Very good. It's an expense. Purchase is an expense, and we have discussed now कि all the purchase comes under the category of nominal account. That's very good. And company why? It is very obvious that it is a personal account. ठीक है. Next question says sells goods worth rupees 75,000. Now one account is your sales account, and if you are selling something you are getting the cash, so another account is your cash account. Sale account again is your income, so therefore it is considered in the nominal account. Now when you have identified the accounts key, which accounts are getting impacted to do the journal entries, and you have also identified that in which category they are in. After doing that, what is your motive? Now you have to identify which account to debit and which account to credit. Now listen to me very carefully. We have some rules that are called golden rules of accounting, through which we identify which account to debit and which account to credit. So if the account belongs to the real account, listen to me very carefully, huh? Such as asset and liability account. If the account belongs to the real account, what we are going to do? We are going to apply this formula. Debit what comes into the business, credit what goes out from the business. Let's take the example. Cash account is a real account, isn't it? Everyone, especially the non-commerce background, please listen to me very carefully here. We have the cash account, right? Now, when we are receiving the cash, receiving the cash is the real account. Now, debit what comes in, cash is coming to the business, isn't it? Cash is coming to us. Now, cash account will be debited. Very easy, na? So, what are the 3 steps to identify what to debit, what to credit? First thing, identify which accounts are getting impacted. Second thing, identify in which category that account is included into, that is real account, personal account, or nominal account. Then apply the golden rule. If it is included in the real account, apply the golden rule of real account. If it is included in the personal account, apply the rule of personal account, isn't it? So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Now if it is personal account, what is going to be the rule? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Or we have another rule, we call it debit the debtor, credit the creditor, right? We will look at the example as well, don't worry. Then we have the nominal account. The rule for the nominal account is debit all expenses, like if we are paying rent, if we are paying salaries, so they are expenses, so they are directly going to be debited. So you always find it difficult not to identify which account to debit. So this is the identifying criteria, which account to debit if it belongs to the nominal account. If it is an expense, you are going to directly debit it, and if it is an income, you are going to credit it. Easy enough, very easy. Let's get into the details of these rules through the help of examples, right? Okay. First question we have is, company X starts its business with a capital of 1 lakh, and we know the capital account is getting impacted here and cash account is getting impacted here. Now listen to me very carefully. In this particular transaction, as a company, accounting is done from the view of company. In the company, we are receiving the cash, isn't it? We are receiving the cash. And for the rule of cash, what do we apply? We apply debit what comes in, because it comes under the category of real account. So debit what comes in. So cash account must be debited. Easy enough, isn't it? And the other account, that is your capital account, it is your personal account. So it will be credited, because debit the receiver, credit the giver, right? So capital account is going to get credited and it is going to be balanced, right? Okay. Second entry we have is rents a property worth rupees 25,000. Listen to me very carefully. We are renting a property worth rupees 25,000. That means we are not renting, basically we are renting a property and we are paying rupees 25,000. So now in this case, what is happening? We have cash. We are paying the cash. So if we are paying the cash, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. The cash is going out. So that means cash is going to be credited. Everyone is clear about this thing? Everyone is clear? Let me know in the chat section why we are crediting in the second scenario. Everyone in the chat section, let me know. Everyone is clear now ki why we are crediting the cash. Everyone, I want everyone to be interactive, huh? Because this is going to be a very important class. You will understand what to debit and what to credit. Okay. Tell me. Okay, so I have started to get the answers in the YouTube as well. I'm asking, huh? I'm also watching the YouTube as well. Okay. Yeah, everyone is clear about this. Okay. Now, why we are debiting rent account? See, we are paying an expense and rent account is a nominal account. What is the rule for nominal account? Debit all expenses. So we are giving cash to rent a property. So it is our expense. So therefore we are debiting it. Clear everyone? Okay. Okay. That's good. Chalo. Next question we have is purchase goods worth rupees 50,000 on credit from company Y. Why there is annotation here? Just a minute. Okay. Just a minute. Somebody has done the annotation in my PPT. Very bad, huh? Okay, wait a minute. I need to open it again. Slide number 14. In the slide number 14, we were right. Okay, so we have done this. We have done this. Okay, right. चलो कोई ना कोई बात नहीं. I have disabled the annotation now. Okay, that's good. चलो. So where we were in the purchase account, purchase goods worth rupees 50,000 on credit from the company Y. Now, which two accounts are getting impacted here? First account is purchase account and another account is Y account. Now, tell me in which category this purchase account is? It is in the category of nominal account. And for the nominal account, what we do? Debit all expenses and purchase is a type of expense. So we are going to debit it, isn't it? Now for the other category, what we are going to do? The other category is company Y, isn't it? And we have purchased something from company Y. So therefore, this company Y becomes our creditor, isn't it? This company Y becomes our creditor. And I have told you the rule that debit the debtor and credit the creditor. Therefore, we are creating company Y. Everyone is clear? Why we are creating company Y. Now let's talk about another transaction. We have this sales goods worth rupees 75,000. Very easy. Why? Because we have two accounts. One account is sales account and another account is we are getting the money. So another account will be cash account. Now tell me in the chat section. I'm not getting ahead with the slide. Tell me in the chat section what will be the general entry for this sales goods worth rupees 75,000. I'm going to give you a hint as well. We are receiving the cash, right? And the rule, golden rule for real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out, isn't it? And we are selling something, and this sales account is our income account, right? So what we are going to debit and what we are going to credit. Let me know in the chat section, everyone. So I have started to get the answers. Everyone is correct here. Very good. So we are receiving the cash. So cash account is going to be debited and sale account is your income account. Therefore, it will be credited, right? So cash account to sales account. Very good. Okay. Chalo. Let's talk about next entry that says pays cash for goods purchased from the company Y. So do you want me to explain the criteria to identify debit and credit in Hindi as well one more time? If anyone has any problem in English, do let me know in the chat section. That message is going to be delivered to me only, huh? Don't worry about that. If you want me to explain this thing in Hindi as well, ki how to do, okay, okay. So people are saying yes, please. Okay. So I will explain this last entry in Hindi. Okay. Listen to me very carefully. Transaction ये है कि pays cash for goods purchased from the company Y. So हम क्या कर रहे हैं इस केस में, द लास्ट ट्रांजेक्शन, इन द लास्ट ट्रांजेक्शन व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, वी हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि कैश को पे कर रहे हैं, हम कैश को पे कर रहे हैं। तो पहले तो हम आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं दो अकाउंट। ठीक है, दो अकाउंट कौन से होंगे इसमें? पहला होगा कैश, क्योंकि हम कैश को पे कर रहे हैं। दूसरा अकाउंट होगा कंपनी वाई। अब हम अगर कैश को पे कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, कैश अकाउंट किस में आता है? रियल अकाउंट में। ठीक है, और रियल अकाउंट में क्या होता है? रूल क्या कहता है? डेबिट व्हाट कम्स इन, क्रेडिट व्हाट गोज आउट। और इन एंड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजेक्शन कैश क्या हो रहा है? कैश जा रहा है, तो कैश को क्या करेंगे? कैश को करेंगे क्रेडिट। अब द क्वेश्चन इज विच अकाउंट टू डेबिट। अब यहां मेरी बात बड़ी ध्यान से सुनना सब लोग। वी हैव द कंपनी वाई, है ना, हमारे पास कंपनी वाई है। हमने पहले अर्लियर व्हाट वी डिड, वी हैव परचेज्ड समथिंग फ्रॉम द कंपनी वाई। लिसन टू मी वेरी केयरफुली, वी हैव परचेज समथिंग फ्रॉम द कंपनी वाई, और हमने उनको पैसे नहीं दिए थे। सो दे बिकम आर क्रेडिटर, इजंट इट? वो हमारे क्या बन गए थे? क्रेडिटर। तो हमने पहले क्या किया था? उसके अकाउंट को क्रेडिट कर दिया था। ठीक है, अब हम उसी कंपनी को पैसे दे रहे हैं, अब हम उसी कंपनी को, कंपनी वाई को पैसे दे रहे हैं। अब अगर हम उसे पैसे दे रहे हैं तो अब वो हमारा क्रेडिटर नहीं रहेगा, अब वो हमारा क्रेडिटर नहीं रहेगा, इजंट इट? और अगर वो हमारा क्रेडिटर नहीं रहेगा पैसे देने के बाद, तो उसके अकाउंट को क्या करेंगे? डेबिट करेंगे, क्योंकि जब वो क्रेडिटर बन रहा था तो हम कर रहे थे क्रेडिट द क्रेडिटर, हम उसके अकाउंट को कर रहे थे क्रेडिट। बट अब क्या कर रहे हैं हम? हमने इसको पैसे दे दिए, वी हैव पेड हिम द मनी, so his account will be reversed, his account will be debited. So this is clear. Company account will be debited and cash account will be credited. So those who want to explain me, who wanted to explain me this thing in Hindi, I have done so for you, right? Okay, now it is clear. Okay, ठीक है, everyone is clear about debiting and crediting the account, right? Now we have the accounting equation. Now we have studied about the golden rules of accounting. Now we have the accounting equation, and then we are going to discuss another way to debit and credit. Even if you don't get the golden rules of accounting very you can say clearly now, don't worry, I'm going to give you a shortcut as well, and by using that way you will easily know what to debit and what to credit, right? Okay, so let's move ahead. Aditya, don't worry, I'm going to explain the last transaction at the end as well. Don't worry about that, right? Just focus on what I'm teaching, because this transaction is going to get repeated again. So in the meantime as well, you will know how to do this entry, right? Okay, chalo. Now we have this accounting equation, right? And please write down your questions during the workshop so that at last you can ask me each and every doubt, and I'm going to answer each and every doubt of yours, right? Chalo. So we have this accounting equation that we have discussed about in our previous class as well, and that says, and from this accounting class na, from this accounting equation na, we are going to derive our second way to identify what to debit and what to credit. So pay attention here. So asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. ठीक है, asset is equal to liabilities plus capital. Now this equation we have derived from the application of dual concept, which says with every transaction at least two accounts are going to get impacted, right? Now let me show you why this accounting equation is always true. Whatever is the transaction, overall asset is always going to be equal to the liability plus capital, always, right? And let me show you how. See, first transaction we have is Rohit started the business with a capital of rupees 5 lakh, right? Now in this scenario, what is happening? We are entering the capital. So in the liability side, your capital is going to increase by 5 lakh, or it is the liability side is going to increase by 5 lakh rupees, right? But simultaneously, your asset side is also going to increase with the cash of 5 lakh, because see, we have the business, we are contributing 5 lakh as cash. So for the company's balance sheet, liability is increasing as capital, because capital is the property of owner and company has to return it to the owner. So that's a liability for the company. So liability side is increasing, but we are contributing, the owners are contributing cash. We are the owners, we are contributing cash as well. So asset side also increases. So liability is going to get equal to the cash side with every transaction. And we have seen how it is a correct statement with our first transaction. Let's move ahead with our second transaction, which says opened a bank account in State Bank of India with an amount of 4,80,000, right? You have opened an account. We are a company and we are the accountant. Let's consider we are the accountant, right, of this company. We have opened a bank account in the State Bank of India with an amount of 4,80,000. Now, from our cash account, listen to me very carefully. From our cash account, we are putting 4,80,000 in our bank account. So what is going to happen in the balance sheet or in this financial position of company? This asset, this cash side is going to decrease by 4,80,000, isn't it? It is going to decrease by 4,80,000. Thereby, it becomes only 20,000. It becomes only 20,000. Now, do we have any effect in the liability side? On the capital side, do we have any effect? No. For the second transaction, we are depositing money in the bank. So cash is decreasing, that's for sure. But simultaneously, bank amount is increasing. So bank amount has increased by 4,80,000. So thereby, when we total it, it becomes 5 lakh. And this is also 5 lakh. So again, asset is getting equal to liability plus capital. Everyone is clear? How through all the transactions, we are always getting liability and asset as same amount. The total of liability is going to get equal to the total of asset. Everyone is clear how it is happening, right? Everyone, I want everyone to answer. You are getting the criteria na, ki how with every transaction your liability side is getting equal to the asset side, right? Everyone is saying yes. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now we have third transaction that says bought furniture for rupees 60,000 and check was issued on the same day. Very easy entry. So now what is happening in this transaction? You are increasing your asset size. You are increasing your asset size by inserting the furniture asset in this, right? So your furniture will be entered here with the amount of 60,000. But simultaneously, you have issued the check as well. So when you are going to issue the check, your bank is going to your bank amount is going to decrease by 60,000. So from 4,80,000, it becomes 4,20,000. Everyone is clear how the accounting equation always holds true with the third transaction, right? So let's move ahead with the fourth transaction. We have fourth transaction as bought plant and machinery for the business for rupees 1,25,000. So what is going to happen after we have bought the plant and machinery? In the asset side, we are going to add plant and machinery with an amount of 1,25,000. Easy enough, right? But other thing is saying transactions, other aspect is saying we have given the advance of 10,000 in cash. So we are decreasing our cash by 10,000. So earlier the cash was 20,000. Now the cash is 10,000. We have decreased our cash by 10,000. But rest of the 1,15,000 we have to pay later. So that will be included in our creditors, because if we are buying something from our supplier or from any party, and if we are not paying him the money, that party becomes our creditor. We have done this thing in the previous class, in the first class, isn't it? So what is happening here? The creditors are getting increased by 1,15,000. Easy enough. Anyone has any problem till now? Everything is clear? Yes. Chalo. Fifth transaction says goods purchased from Miss Sumit Traders for rupees 55,000 on credit. Again, which two accounts are getting impacted here? First one is purchase account, and we are purchasing the goods, right? And we are purchasing it from the Sumit Traders on credit. So now in the liability side, our creditors are going to increase by how much amount? by 55,000, isn't it? So it will become 1,70,000. But we have purchased the goods, so our asset side is also going to increase simultaneously. So our asset side, that is stock, is going to be increased by 55,000. So when you are going to sum it now, when you are going to calculate the sum of all the liabilities and when you are going to sum all the assets, it will be equal again. Everyone is clear? Chalo, let's move ahead. Okay. With the sixth question we have, okay, Nikita is asking something, I guess. You have a long query. Okay, just wait for the slide to complete, and at the end of the class now, I'm going to take each and every question of yours. Okay, don't worry about that. Just write the question in your notebook, right? Okay, sixth transaction says goods costing rupees 35,000 sold to Rajani Enterprise for rupees 35,000, right? So what it is saying, goods costing rupees 35,000. Now it has been sold to Rajani Enterprise. Now what is happening? Now earlier your stock were 55,000, and in the last transaction, what you are doing? You are selling your goods, isn't it? So your stock is going to decrease by 35,000, isn't it? It is going to decrease by 35,000, isn't it? And if you have sold something, obviously you are going to get money out of it as well, right? But they are not paying us money, because it is nowhere written that they are paying us money, isn't it? So we will consider them as our debtors. We will consider them as our debtors. So in the asset side, first thing that is happening here, ki stock is getting decreased by 35,000, and to balance it out, we are also increasing our debtor by 35,000. So the net impact will be zero on the asset side, because we are decreasing this 35,000 and we are increasing it 35,000. So net impact on the asset side will be zero, nil. So therefore, this liability and asset side is always going to match with the effect of sixth transaction as well, right? Okay. Now I'm going to give you the trick, and this is going to be useful to understand what to debit and what to credit. Listen to me very carefully here. We have discussed that asset is equal to liability plus capital. That we can also call it stockholders equity. That is correct, right? Now this stockholders equity also includes your previous year's profits. So we call them retained earnings, beginning retained earnings. Whatever we have earned in our previous years, that is going to be added to the capital of the members. That is correct, right? Now, whatever profit we have generated in this particular year, that is also going to be added to the capital, isn't it? So it says revenue minus expense. Revenue minus expense is broadly profit, right? So overall, what you have got, asset is equal to liability plus contributed capital plus retained earnings in the beginning plus revenue minus expense, or you can say profit. That is clear to you. Now, when I'm going to transpose this expense here in on the asset side, what is going to happen? It is going to get converted into plus sign. So your equation becomes this. Listen to me very carefully and look at this equation very carefully here. Asset plus expense is equal to your liability plus capital plus revenue. Anyone has any doubt how we have found this? We know asset is equal to liability plus equity. I didn't do anything special. What I did, I just transposed this expense to asset side, right? So it becomes asset plus expense is equal to liability plus capital plus revenue. Now, from this equation, you can have an idea that key asset and expense are on the same side. So that means they are going to behave similarly when we are going to debit and credit them. Listen to me very carefully, हाँ, कि asset और expense एक ही side में है, and we have liability, capital and revenue on the same side. So इसका मतलब है कि अगर कुछ ऐसा nature होगा, there is such a nature of transaction in which assets are, we are debiting the asset. For the same nature, we are also going to debit the expense. I'll give you an example, don't worry. See, we have this chart and we have this equation. I will write it for you here as well. Asset plus expense equals to liability plus capital plus your income. ठीक है. Now जब भी आपका असेट बढ़ेगा, whenever your asset is going to increase, listen to me very carefully, whenever your asset is going to increase, you are going to debit it. You are going to debit it. ठीक है. This is a shortcut I'm giving you how to identify which account to debit and which account to credit, and through the help of equation. So whenever your assets are increasing, you are going to debit it. And I have told you in the previous slide na कि assets and expenses are on the same side, they are on the same team. ठीक है. So similarly, if our expenses are increasing, then also we are going to debit the expense account because they are behaving in the same way, because they are on the same side. Now let's come to the right hand side. When we increase our liabilities, when we increase our liabilities, we are going to credit it. Remember, when we increase the liability, we are going to credit the liability account. So similarly, we have to credit the capital account as well, and we have to credit the income account as well when they are going to increase, because they all these three are on the same team or in the same side. So if we are increasing the liability, we have to credit it. This is the shortcut I'm giving you. Okay, and how to remember it, I have given you the equation as well. So chalo, let me know in the chat section. Tell me, just let me come to the previous slide. Now tell me in the chat section, we are a company and we are decreasing our capital. We are the accountants and our capital has decreased, right? So are we going to debit our capital account or are we going to credit our capital account? Tell me in the chat section. We are decreasing our capital. What we are going to do? We are going to debit capital account or we are going to credit our capital account? Tell me. Debit. Everyone is correct. And Jyoti is asking, how sir revenues on the liability side? It is not on the liability side. It is like we have this equation, na? We have this equation, na? Ki asset is equal to liability plus contributed capital plus retained earning plus revenue minus expense. So when I have transposed the expense, automatically revenue is on this side, on the right hand side. Therefore, it is written like this, right? Okay. So everyone is correct here. So when we increase our capital, when we increase our revenue, and when we increase our liability, we are going to credit that account. But when we decrease it, we are going to debit it for these items. Okay, so this is the table we have. See what you have to remember here. When increasing the asset, we are going to debit it. And similarly, when we are going to increase our expense, we are going to debit it. This is clear. Now, when we decrease the asset, obviously we are going to credit it, reverse of debit. And when we are going to decrease the expense, again, we have to credit it, right? And for the liability, income and capital, they behave the same way. When we are increasing the liability or we are increasing the income or we are increasing the capital, we have to credit it. Everyone clear about that? And when we have decreased the liability or the income or the capital, we have to debit it. Okay? So you have to remember this equation. That's why we have discussed this thing. I have told you in the beginning that this accounting equation is very important, right? And you must remember that assets and expense behaves in the same way as far as debit and credit entries are concerned, right? And how and why, I have already told you the derivation of it as well, right? Let's do some numericals or the practical questions. You will know how it works, right? Chalo. And what we include in our asset account? Plant and machinery, we have the furniture, we have the cash, all the asset uh, that are considered to be our resources. So that are asset account. What are liability? These are our obligations. These are the obligations we have. Expense, nothing to explain here. We all know whatever expenditure we are doing in the company, all are going to be included in the expense account. And as far as revenue is concerned, very easy, your income account, sale account, interest received account, or commission account, right? Now let's do the numeric. Now let's do the transaction and try to do the journal entry by your own. And let me know the chat section. What will be the entry of this first transaction? It says Rohit started business with cash 5 lakh. How we are going to do the journal entry? Listen to me very carefully. Two accounts are getting impacted here. First account is your cash. Another account is your capital, isn't it? First account is your cash because you're contributing. Rohit is contributing cash, right? Now cash is in the category of asset. Asset is increasing because cash is increasing. Similarly, you are contributing capital. Rohit is contributing capital. Capital is also increasing. And I have told you this thing. If asset increases, we are going to debit it from this table. You can conclude this thing, right? When asset increases, we are going to debit it, and when capital increases, we are going to credit it, isn't it? So what is going to be the entry? Cash account debit to capital account credit. Easy enough. Everyone is clear? Everyone knows the shortcut now? Because in the exam, you are going to have less time, so you will have to apply this thing. If you go for the golden rules of accounting, it will be cumbersome if you are new to the accounting. Therefore, I have provided you this shortcut, right? Everyone is clear about this thing? Anyone has any doubt, let me know. I will repeat it in the Hindi as well. Anyone in the YouTube, in the Zoom, if anyone has any problem, let me know. I'm going to repeat it in the Hindi as well. Don't worry about the language, right? Everyone is clear? Okay, clear. Let's move to the next transaction now. Should we move to the next transaction, everyone? Yeah, so everyone is saying move to the next transaction. Okay, now we have this transaction that says opened a bank account. Okay, so Praj, please listen to me very carefully in this particular transaction and everything will be clear. Yeah, the whole golden rules seem more easy when you have the commerce background, obviously, right? Or you know the basics of accounting, right? Chalo, opened a bank account with an amount of 4,80,000. And what is going to be the entry for this transaction? We have two accounts. What two accounts we have? First one is bank account. First one is bank account, and another one is cash account. That you know that this is the criteria that is same for the golden rules of accounting and as well as for this rule of accounting. For this rule of debit and credit, right? You have to identify two accounts or at least two accounts. So cash in hand or cash in bank. Now these are the asset account. These are the asset account. One asset is increasing, one asset is decreasing. Whatever asset account is increasing, you are going to debit it. So you have opened a bank account. You have opened a bank account. So obviously it is going to be debited. And your cash in hand is decreasing. So you are going to credit it, isn't it? So bank account debit to cash account. Everyone is clear about this? Yeah, everyone. Okay. Praj, are you clear about this thing? Okay, chalo. Let's move ahead. We have third transaction as bought furniture for rupees 60,000. Bought furniture for rupees 60,000 and issued check for the same. Again, two transactions are getting impacted here. One is furniture account, and furniture is a type of asset account. Your asset is increasing, you are going to debit this furniture account. Easy enough, everyone in the YouTube and the in the Zoom. Easy enough na ki we are purchasing the furniture. So your furniture account is increasing, so you are going to debit it because this is an asset account. Now you have issued the check. That means you are impacting the bank account, and your bank account is decreasing. Bank account is your asset account, so if it is decreasing, you have to credit it. Easy enough, right? Chalo. Bought plant and machinery from Ramji Lal for the business for rupees 1,25,000. Advance has been paid 10,000, and the rest will be basically we have to pay later. So again, plant and machinery, we have received plant and machinery. It is an asset account. It is getting increased. So whenever asset is increased, it will be debited. Easy enough. So plant and machinery is going to get debited. Now you are paying cash 10,000. Cash is your asset account. Is it decreasing? It is decreasing. So it will be credited. So cash account is going to get credited. Another account is Ramji Lal. He is your creditor. Listen to me very carefully. He is your creditor. And when your creditor increases, what do? You credit it. Whenever liabilities increases, what do? You credit it. So Ramji Lal is also going to get credited. And what will be the amount? 1,15,000, because 1,25,000 minus 10,000 is 1,15,000. Always remember, total of sum of debit side and the sum of credit side is always going to be equal, right? Everyone. Okay, that's good. That's good. Chalo, let's move ahead. Okay. Now we have this fifth transaction which says goods purchased from Sumit traders. Now we have purchased something. Again, two accounts are getting impacted. One is purchase account, another one is Sumit account. Purchase is a type of what? Expense, isn't it? It is a type of expense, and we are increasing our asset. We are increasing our expense, so it will be debited. So purchase account is going to get debited. Sumit traders, we have purchased something, we haven't paid money yet, so that person becomes our creditor, isn't it? So if we are increasing the liability, our creditors are increasing, so we are going to credit it. See here, liability when increases, we are going to credit it, right? So Sumit traders are going to get credited. Everyone clear? Okay, everyone is clear. Chalo. Yeah, Praj, absolutely. Now you understood. Therefore, I have told you na ki with each example, you will have more clarity. That's why practice with me. When asset increases, the account is going to get debited. When asset decreases, it is going to get credited. It is very easy once you understand the foundation. And just like the asset, we have the expense. Therefore, have patience in the accountancy. When you study accounts with me, na, with each example, you will have more clarity. With each example, you will be more efficient in doing the accountancy, right? Just have patience, right? Very nice, very nice. Okay, chalo. Now, sixth example says goods costing rupees 35,000 sold to Rajni Enterprise for rupees 35,000 on credit. Again, two accounts are getting impacted here. First one is Rajni Enterprise. Why? Because we are basically selling goods to Rajni Enterprise on credit. So that's why Rajni Enterprise is getting impacted here. And second thing you need to remember, we are selling things and we are not receiving cash. So now Rajni Enterprise is a debtor or creditor? Let me know in the chat section. Rajni Enterprise is a debtor or creditor? Everyone. Rajni Enterprise is a debtor or creditor? Yeah, debtor. That's good. And debtor is what? Asset or liability? It is our asset, right? And if asset increases, we are going to debit it. So therefore, Rajni Enterprise is getting debited here. That is the reason. And second account is, that is very easy. We are selling something to sales account. Sales account is income account, right? And income account, you all know, it is directly credited, right? So this is the sales account that is getting credited. For for this chart, the important point here is you need to remember the criteria of asset. Increase in asset debited, and capital and liability. For the income and expense, you already know na ki when income is there you need to credit it, when expense is there you need to debit it. What to remember here in the expense or in the income, that you know from the golden rules of accounting itself. But for the asset, liability and capital, you need to apply this, right? This chart. Okay, so you need to apply the mixture of both of these things to do this efficiently, right? Everyone is clear, I can see. Okay, chalo. Let's move ahead, and we have these all transaction together. We have already discussed this thing. We are not going to get into these details again, right? Okay, so what is this CF? This is carried forward. And why we use this carry forward? See what happens now. Journal is a book. We have discussed this thing. Ki journal is a book, and this journal is a book. So when one page is filled, we write CF, that is carried forward, total carried forward to the next page. And when we are going to enter into the next page, what we are going to write? Total BF, that is brought forward. We have brought forward from the previous page the total of debit and credit. This is the meaning of debit and credit. Akansha, clear? In the YouTube? Okay, so everyone is clear about the debit and credit. Okay, that's good. Chalo. Now it's your turn to give me the answer in the chat section. So first question we have is, income and expenditure account is what? Real account, personal account, nominal account, or the capital account? Let me know in the chat section. Everyone. Yeah, I have started to get the answers. Lot of answers in the Zoom. YouTube guys are somewhat lethargic, huh? But in the Zoom session, I am getting lot of answers. Okay. So everyone is saying C. That is correct. Everyone is correct here. That is very good, right? So income and expenditure account is nominal account because it is not a type of a real account. It is not a type of personal account. So automatically it becomes your nominal account. Very nice. Okay, let's move ahead. Very nice. Very nice. Chalo. Branch account under debtor system is what? Important, or we can say out of the box question. Let me know in the chat section now. Okay, what will be the answer? Is it a real account? Is it a personal account? Is it a nominal account? Or obviously you can eliminate the liability account. So what account is it? I have told you the criteria na? For the real account. If it is asset or liability account, it will be included in the real account. If it is a person's account, it will be personal account. And rest of the accounts will be nominal account. So what will be the answer? Everyone? Okay, so I have started to get the answers from each one of you. I'm getting the answers, but I can see only few people are able to uh, answer this correctly. I've told you this is out of the box question. See, why you are telling me this is personal account? Tell me who are telling me this is personal account. Why you are telling me this is personal account? Branch account under debtor system. Branch account. Okay, you don't know about the branch accountancy. That's why. See, whenever you are not able to identify na ki which account is, so that will be automatically included in the nominal account. This is not the real account, obviously. This is not personal account. This is personal account relates to the persons. Branch accountancy is like we have several branches. We have several branches, right? So we in the debtor system, what we do, we take it as the nominal account, just like we take profit loss account, just like that. We do the account of branch accounting under debtor system. You need to remember this thing, right? In the branch account, what we do, just like we prepare the profit loss account, now we prepare the branch account. That's why it's a nominal account. Everyone is clear why it's a nominal account? Everyone? I know this is a tough question. This was a tough question. I've included this thing purposely. Obviously, I will give some bouncers as well, na? Okay. Yeah, Prasad, correct. Matlab, they are getting prepared like that in the debtor system, right? Then we combine all the branch accounts. Okay, everyone is clear here. Okay, chalo. Now, after general entries, what we do? We post these entries into the ledger account, the individual account. So book of original entry, where all transactions are recorded in the order in the general book. We know that now these transactions from this book are posted to respective account. Respective account means individual accounts, and these individual accounts we call them ledger account. So book containing different accounts where transaction relating to all accounts are recorded separately. So in the ledger account, what happens? Suppose you are taking the cash account. So all the transactions that relate to the cash are going to be entered into the single cash account. All the account that relates to the rent are going to be entered in a single rent account. That rent account is your ledger account. Everyone clear? What is ledger? We are going to see some ledger as well. Don't worry. Okay, so we have this ledger and we call it principal book of accounting. As far as journal is concerned, that was the original book of entry. This is the principal book of accounting. This is the difference, huh? This is the difference. It contains different accounts where transactions relating to that account are recorded. And we also do the net result of all the transaction. Suppose few entries are on the debit side of cash account. So we are going to enter it on the debit side. Suppose this is cash account. We are going to enter all the debit entries. We are going to enter all the credit entries, right? So, and then we are going to sum it up. We are going to sum the debit side. We are going to sum the credit side, and we are going to balance it, right? So we are going to find the net result of all the transaction. Don't worry, we are going to look at the example as well. So this is the example. Now see why we need ledger account. Let's understand this thing. Then we are going to look at the format of ledger as well. This is the journal entry. This is the journal book we have, right? Now, if I ask you, looking at this journal, can we tell at which date which transaction happened? Yes, we can surely say this thing. But second question says, can we tell balance due to Rajni Enterprise? What is the balance that is due to Rajni Enterprise? What will be the answer? Yes or no? See, we can say yes, but we have to identify which transaction relates to the Rajni Enterprise by looking at each and every transaction. By looking at each and every transaction, you have to find out where Rajni Enterprise is there. So here it is. Here Rajni Enterprise is there. So similar to these transactions, we have a long book. We have a very bulky general book. So you need to find wherever this Rajni Enterprise is entered, then you need to calculate what is the amount that is due to Rajni Enterprise. So this is very cumbersome, isn't it? So just from the general book, just by looking at the journal entries to find out what is the amount due, that is very cumbersome. That's why we use this ledger account. It becomes very easy when we prepare ledger account. How? See, in the ledger account, what is going to happen? Only transactions that are related to the Rajni Enterprise are going to be entered in this Rajni Enterprise account. Only transactions that are related to the Rajni Enterprise are going to be entered in this Rajni Enterprise account, and then you will be able to see what amount is due to her or what account is due to us. So you will be able to easily find it out here in the ledger account itself, right? That's the utility. That's the utility, right? Okay. Now, what is the format? You have understood the utility of ledger account, why it is needed. Let's understand about the format of the ledger account. We have two sides in the ledger account. One side is debit, left hand side is debit, right hand side is credit. Now, let's suppose you have like if you sold something, you have sold some goods, right? You have received the cash. Listen to me very carefully. You have received the cash, okay? And this ledger account is of cash. So what you are going to do? You have received the cash of 1 lakh. So the journal entry would be cash account debit to sales account. This is clear to you because you know journal entry, how to do journal entries, you know. Now from this journal entry, you are going to post it to the ledger account. How? This cash account is getting debited here now. So you are going to put value to the debit side in the cash account. Listen to me very carefully and focus here. Cash account is debited here. So you are going to write in the debit side of cash account what? Sales. Sales. And what you are going to write in the amount? Whatever amount is there in the cash account. Suppose it is 1 lakh. So it will be 1 lakh. So that's how you prepare the ledger account. Very easy. When you know how to prepare the general entries, when you know how to do general entries, it is very easy to post it to the ledger account, because you are just saying ki cash account is debited. Okay, in the debit side of cash, you are going to enter sales, and whatever amount is there in the cash account, you are going to enter it. That's it. Again, suppose you are paying rent. Suppose you are paying rent of rupees 50,000, let's say. Okay, so what will be the general entry? This will be the general entry. Na? Rent account will be debited and your cash account will be credited, isn't it? This will be the entry. You are paying the rent. Now, cash account is getting credited. So what you are going to do? In the credit side of the cash account, you are going to write rent. You are going to credit this cash account and you are going to write rent in the particulars, and in the amount, whatever amount you are paying as rent, that is 50,000. You are going to write it here. So similar to these transactions, all the transactions that relate to the cash, you are going to enter it into this particular format. Is this clear? Ledger becomes easy, everyone. I'm going to explain again as well. Don't worry. Don't worry. So you want me to explain this in Hindi as well, or I should continue in English? Please tell me fast. Okay, chalo. Okay, चलो फिर से देखो. Let's look at this again with the help of another example. ठीक है? चलो. This is the example we have. This is the suppose these are the journal entries we have. ठीक है? Listen to me very carefully now. We are going to prepare the ledger account of cash. ठीक है? Look at the entries which are related to cash in your journal book. This is the journal book you have. ठीक है? And you are going to prepare the ledger account of cash. So look at the entries which are related to cash. So first entry is there. You have find out that first entry is there which relates to the cash. It says cash account debit to capital account. Easy enough. Now it's clear. Okay. Now what you are going to do? This is the debit side. This is the credit side. Now after identifying the cash entry, in the first entry, cash is getting debited. Cash is getting debited. So what you are going to do? In the debit side of cash account, focus here, huh? Because cash account is getting debited, you are coming to the debit side. You are coming to the debit side, and on the particular side, what you are going to write? Whatever account is here, and here it is capital account. Here it is capital account. So you are going to write it. You are going to write capital here, and what is the amount you are going to enter? Whatever amount is there, that is your 5 lakh. So you are going to enter 5 lakh here. Now clear, everyone? How to do ledger entries? How to post from your journal book to the ledger account. Similarly, let's find out other entries as well, other cash entries as well. Your second entry, see, this is the contra account. Just leave it for now. And we have this entry as well. See, plant and machinery account debit to cash to Ramji Lal. So how you are going to post it in the cash account? I'm going to tell you how. See, first look at the side in which you are going to enter your you are going to enter account in your ledger account of cash. So cash is getting credited here, isn't it? Cash is getting credited here. So you are going to write down entry in your credit side for this particular transaction, right? Now what is debiting in this particular transaction? In the fourth transaction, what is debiting? Tell me, everyone. In the fourth transaction, your cash account is getting credited by 10,000. What is debiting here in the fourth transaction? Yeah, that's good. Plant and machinery, that's good. Okay, so plant and machinery is getting debited. So you are going to enter in the credit side of cash account your plant and machinery. Okay. Now tell me. Now this is going to be important. Now tell me what is going to be the amount. What amount you are going to write it here? Tell me. Is it going to be 1,25,000 or is it going to be 10,000? Let me know in the chat section. This is going to be important, very important. Okay. Tell me, everyone. Yeah, everyone is correct except few. No, Dushyant, you are not going to write 1,25,000, and most of you are correct. That's good. That's good. Okay. Yeah, 10,000. Please remember, you are making the ledger of cash account. So you are going to write the amount of cash. Though you are writing it, though you are writing plant and machinery here in the particulars, but you are crediting the cash account. And what is the amount that is getting credited in your cash account? That is your 10,000, not your 1,25,000. When you will be preparing ledger account of plant and machinery, na, then you are going to use 1,25,000. But right now you are preparing the ledger account of cash account. So whatever amount is getting credited in terms of cash account, you are going to write it here, 10,000. Now clear, everyone? I hope now everyone is clear about the ledger account. It is very easy. Once you understood how to prepare the journal entry, it is very easy to post it from the journal, right? Everyone is clear? Okay, I can see. Nice. Dhaval, are you clear? I think someone has given me wrong answer. Most of you are correct. Okay. Chalo. Okay. That's good. That's good. Chalo. Now, similarly, we are going to prepare the ledger account of capital account. Look at the entries where capital account is there. This is the first entry we have. And in this entry, we have the capital account. Now, capital account is getting created here, isn't it? So this is the debit side and this is the credit side. So you are going to enter the transaction into the credit side because capital account is getting created here, right? And what you are going to write in the particulars? Cash, because your debit account is cash. So you are going to write cash and then you are going to enter 5 lakh, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's Dushyant. Yeah. So are you able to read out each other's messages? Are you able to read out each other's messages or not? No, sir. That's good. So I have enabled a setting in which I'm only your messages are going to deliver to me only, right? So I have did this thing because I want you to be focused, right? Okay, let's move ahead. So everyone is clear about the posting from the general book to the ledger account. Everyone is clear. That's very good. Chalo. Now let's move ahead with the classification of ledger account. I'm really happy to see ki everyone now knows how to do debit and credit, right? And everyone knows how to post from the general book to the ledger account. That's very good. That's very good. Okay, chalo. What you didn't get, Meeta, tell me. I will repeat it. Don't worry. At the end of the class, I'm going to repeat, right? Whatever you haven't understood, right? Don't worry about that. Chalo. Classification of ledger, we have permanent and temporary accounts. What is this permanent account and what is this temporary account? This is going to be important. Assets, liabilities, and capital accounts are your permanent account. And why they are permanent account? Let me tell you why. Because see, these accounts are going to get carried forward to the next accounting period. These are asset, liability, and capital. That is, they are in the balance sheet. So once you have prepared this thing, these are going to get carried forward to the next year. And these account are revenue and expense. These are not going to get carried forward to the next year. Why? Because it is going to impact this year profit and loss. This year profit and loss is going to get impacted from these two accounts as well, revenue and expense account. So this is going to be closed down in this particular year itself. So therefore it is called temporary accounts, right? And on the other hand, when we talk about asset, liability, and capital, we carry forward it. So suppose we have a machinery to basically manufacture this pen. Okay. So we have machinery in this particular year. Are we going to basically uh, uh, what should I take as an example? Suppose we have a machinery to assemble mobile products, right? Mobile components. So do you think we are only going to use that machinery in this particular year? No, we are going to use this machinery in the next year as well, in the next year as well, right? Isn't it? So that's why this asset account is permanent account. Similarly, in the case of liability, suppose you have creditors, right? And you need to pay money to them, and you haven't paid them money yet, but they are your long-term creditors. You have taken a loan from the banks. So do you really think you are going to close down your bank loan account in this particular year itself? No, they are going to carry down to the next year as well, and to the next year as well, right? And similarly, we have the capital account. But as far as revenue and expense account is concerned, you prepare the profit and loss account each year. And this revenue account is closed by transferring the amount to the profit and loss account. So tell me in the chat section what I told you, what we have discussed, key, what we do in the case of revenue and income. Do we credit or do we debit the revenue and the income account? What do we do? Do we credit the revenue account or do we credit the revenue account? Tell me in the chat section. Tell me. Then I'm going to tell you na, how you are going to close it down. For the revenue or income account, what we are going to do? Yeah, we are going to credit it. So when we have to close it na, when we have to close this revenue account na, you are going to debit it. Okay? This point you need to remember. Revenue account, we have discussed ki you credit the revenue account, but when you have to close it at the end of the accounting year, you are going to debit it, right? By crediting it to the profit and loss account. Therefore, these are temporary accounts. Okay? These are temporary accounts because this has to be closed down at the end of the accounting period. Everyone is clear. That's good. Chalo. Good. This is the bigger picture we have. First, we prepare the journal, then we prepare the ledger by posting the journal entries to the ledger individual account. Then we prepare the trial balance. Our next class would be about the trial balance. And after the trial balance, we are going to prepare the final accounts. This is the bigger picture, bigger flow, as you can see. So what is the difference between journal and ledger? Class is not finished, huh? We have several MCQs, don't worry. Okay. So journal is the book of first entry, that is the original entry, and this is the principal book of entry, right? Now, journal is the book for chronological record. So whatever transaction has been there chronologically, you are going to enter it one by one in the journal book. But on the other hand, when we talk about the ledger book, it is the account wise entry. You take all the transaction related to cash in the cash account. You take all the transaction related to the creditors in the creditor account, isn't it? Okay. And in the journal, okay, the journal as a book of source entry gets greater importance as the legal evidence. Why? Because see, ledger is getting prepared from the journal itself. So journal is the primary source, the original entry, right? So therefore it is more evident that it is basically given more importance as we talk about the legal evidence. Okay. Sanjana, don't worry. I'm going to repeat it. Don't worry. Just write it down. Whatever your doubt is, we are going to. I'm going to repeat it at the end of the session. Don't worry about that. Okay. Now, process of recording the journal is called journalizing, and when we talk about ledger, we call that process posting. Final position, we can't find it very easily. We have discussed now you have to look at each of the account and you have to calculate plus and minus from the journal. Final position, net position, it is not easy to find it out, but final position from any account can be easily find out from the ledger account. Tax authorities do not rely on these books. Why? Because they don't have time to go through each of these transactions. So tax authorities rely on the ledger books. Entries from the journal are transferred to the ledger. Obviously, you know this thing, right? Now, let's talk about the MCQ. And now it's your turn to answer me in the chat section. Sanjana is asking expense and losses to be credited when transferred to PLN account. Yes, you have got the concept. Why you're saying you didn't get it? Expenses and losses are debited when we enter it, but when it is transferred to the PL, they are going to be credited. You got the concept. This is correct. Sanjana, you are clear about this thing? Okay. So tell me what is the answer of this question. Everyone, I want everyone to answer this question. The ledger folio column of journal is used to do what? The ledger folio. And I'm going to tell you about the ledger folio as well. If you don't know, we have the journal entry, you know this thing. And suppose we are getting cash through sales. Okay. So entry would be cash account, debit to sales account. And in this side, it is a column of ledger folio. Then we have the amounts. Now, why this ledger folio is used? Let me tell you why. What happens? We have the ledger book as well. So what is the page number? What is the page number of that ledger book in which this transaction has been entered? So what will be the answer of this question? Let me see in the chat section. Have you given the answer? Okay, I have started to get the answers. Record the page number of the ledger account. Very good. Okay. So what is the page number of that ledger book in which this transaction is getting entered? That's what we write in the ledger folio. Similarly, in the ledger account, we have journal folio. Listen to me very carefully. Similarly, in the ledger account, suppose we have the cash account, right? We have debit side in the left side. We have credit side in the right side. We have amount, we have particulars, and then we have this journal folio. And why we are using this journal folio column? Tell me why we are using this journal folio. It is going to show the page number of the journal book to which this transaction relates to. So I used to prepare these books when I used to work for the Department of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Now, I used to prepare these books. This is very cumbersome. We used to prepare this by hand because in the Sarkari department, you know what is the halat. Though we have started to use the tally as well, but it was mandatory for us to prepare the offline books as well, these journal and ledger books as well, right? So we used to enter the ledger folio, we used to enter the page number of journal book, right? So now you know what is this journal folio, what is this ledger folio, right? Okay, let's talk about the next question. The journal entry to record the sale of service on credit should include what? Journal entry to record the sale of service. You are selling the service, or if you are selling the goods as well, the entry would be same. Okay. On credit should include what? Debit to debtors, credit to capital, debit to cash, credit to debtors. I'll give you a hint. You are selling something. So sales account is your income. So obviously your sales account will be credited. Okay. And what will be in the debit side? Whoever is your debtor, whoever is your debtor is an asset. If asset increases, it gets debited. So debtor will be debited. So what should be the answer? I think option number D, debit to debtors and credit to sales. Let me look at the chat section. Okay, so everyone is correct here. Okay, that's good. That's nice. Everyone is correct. That's good. Chalo. Let me know that what is the answer of this particular question. The journal entry to record purchase of equipment for rupees 2000. Till then, I will see what is happening in the YouTube live stream. What is the answer of this question? The journal entry to record purchase of equipment of 2 lakh cash and a balance of 8 lakh due in 30 days include what? Tell me. Okay, Akansha is giving answer correctly. That's good. Okay. Chalo. Give me the answer of this particular question. Okay, I've started to get the answers. That's good. That's good. So you have to record the purchase, na? You have to record the purchase of equipment of 2 lakh, right? Cash and the balance of 8 lakh. That means the machine should be worth of 10 lakh rupees, isn't it? So you have to debit your equipment by 10 lakh. So you have eliminated first option. You have eliminated your C option. Now you have paid the cash of 2 lakh. So obviously the cash of credit 2 lakh is in the B option. So option number B is your correct here. So most of you are correct. I think everyone is correct. Every one of you are correct. That's good. That's very good. I'm really proud to see each and every one of you are correct. Okay, that's good. Chalo. What will be the answer of this question? When an entry is made in general, when an entry is made in the journal, what do we do first? Assets are listed first, accounts to be debited listed first, accounts to be credited listed first, or accounts may be listed in any order. Tell me. Nice. Again, everyone is correct. Accounts to be debited should be listed first. That's good. Okay. Nice. Chalo. Very good. Let's move ahead now. Next question we have is, if the transaction is properly analyzed and recorded, if a transaction is properly analyzed and recorded, only 2 accounts will be used to record the transaction. 1 account will be used to record the transaction. 1 account balance will increase and another will decrease. Total amount debited will equal to total amount credited. Tell me, very easy question, huh? If a transaction is properly analyzed and recorded, what is going to happen at last? Only 2 accounts will be used to record transaction. No, more than 2 accounts can also get more than 2 accounts can also be affected, right? Can also get impacted. 1 account will be used to record transaction. No. 1 account balance will increase. No, not necessarily. So the correct answer here is option number D. Total of debit and total of credit must be equal. Must be equal. Everyone is correct again. Okay, that's really nice to see. Again, we have the question that says, general entry to record. Yeah, YouTube answers are also correct. That's good. That's very good. SkyTrader. But I think you have given the answer of previous question. Yes. So the general entry to record the payment of monthly bill will include what? Tell me in the chat section. Payment of monthly bill. Debit monthly bill, credit capital, credit cash, debit monthly bill, and credit creditors. Tell me in the chat section. So debit monthly bill, partially correct, but we are not going to credit the capital. Debit capital, no, not at all. Debit monthly bill, credit cash, yes, because it is nowhere written ki it is in the credit form, right? So debit monthly bill and credit cash. Option number 3 is correct. Very good, everyone. Very good. Chalo. That's good. Really nice to see this thing. You all are very attentive. Now, see, now we are going to move ahead with our next topic, that is subsidiary books. So this topic is not very much important, but you must have the understanding ki what is subsidiary book, what are subsidiary books, because I have seen lot of people are confused between the ledger and the subsidiary books. They think both are same. They are not same. They have the minute difference, and I'm going to show you what is the difference. But listen to me very carefully. It is not very much important from the examination point of view, but yes, for setting your base right, it becomes important part of the course. Right? So okay. First of all, first of all, we have this journal, you all know, right? And as I have told you, I used to prepare this journal book when I used to work as an accountant, right? So any accountant must be preparing this journal book by entering the transactions. But let's suppose a scenario where the firm is very big. Suppose the Reliance Industry, suppose the Tata. Now in the one book, all the transactions to be recorded is like is impractical. It is not feasible for the small business. It is really feasible to record all the transaction in a single book, but for a large business organization, it is very cumbersome to journalize each and every transaction in the journal book. So therefore we have divided this journal into several parts, and we call these several books, these sub books, as subsidiary books. We call them special journals or subsidiary books. Only understand the concept. Numerical is not very much important from the examination point of view for this particular topic, right? So how do we divide it? Listen to me very carefully. So in the journal, what we were doing, we were recording all the transaction in one place, isn't it? Now business is very big, very large. There are so many transactions. So what Reliance is going to do, suppose he's not appointing one accountant. One accountant is there definitely, but under this accountant, the Reliance is appointing various employees. Why? You have seen when you go to the Spencer, when you purchase something, there are employees who are sitting there to bill, to give you the invoice, isn't it? They are not doing the accounting. They are generating only the cash and they are only generating the sales invoices. So Reliance does the same. What he does, Reliance appoints an employee to enter the sales entry. Listen to me very carefully. And Reliance appoints an employee who is maintaining the cash entries. Only cash entries is going to be entered by this particular employee. Only purchase entry is going to be entered by this particular employee. And why Reliance is doing so? Because there are so many transactions. If one individual prepare all the transaction one by one in the chronological order, it will be very cumbersome. Simultaneously, in a moment of in a fraction of second, some sale is happening and some purchase is happening. So there are different guys for entering different type of transaction. So these are your different books. Cash book. What does this cash book do? This cash book only enters the cash transaction. It is sub general. Please remember, it is not sub ledger. It is sub general, classification of journal only. It is the book of original entry only. ठीक है, ध्यान दो. So cash book, in the cash book, only the cash transaction is going to get recorded. In the purchase book, only the purchase entries are only going to get recorded. In the purchase return book, only purchase return entries are only going to get recorded. In the sales book, entries related to sales are going to get recorded. Though we are going to get into the details of it as well, don't worry about that. I'm just giving you brief about the books, right? Sales returns, only the transactions which are related to the sales return, we are going to record that, right? Then we have the general proper. Whatever is not entered in these books, those transactions are going to be entered in the general proper. Now let's deep dive into each book one by one in brief only, right? Okay. So I think I have, so Prachi is asking something. In the cash book, only cash related journal entries, one part other. Yeah, you will get to know. Don't worry. We are going to talk about the format as well. Don't worry, Prachi. We are going to get ahead with the cash book and we are going to deep dive into the cash book, right? Chalo. This is the cash book. And in the cash book, we have discussed all transactions relating to the cash receipts and the cash payments are going to get recorded, right? Now, please remember, when cash book is maintained, you don't have to prepare the transaction of cash in the journal, obviously, because it is a sub general. Why you are going to prepare general entries in the cash book and also separately as well? So when you are preparing the cash book, no need to enter it separately in the general book. First thing is that. Now there are two types of cash book. You have the single cash book and you have the double column cash book. Now I'm going to answer the question of Prachi. She's asking, sir, if only debit side is maintained or only credit side is maintained. Tell me, when we do the journal entry, can do we only enter the debit side, or we do the credit side in the journal entry? We enter both of the accounts, the debit side as well and the credit side as well. So similarly, in the cash book as well, we have the format of cash book like this: single column cash book. This is the debit side, this is the credit side. And now you must be asking me, sir, it is same as that of ledger account, isn't it? You must be asking me, na? You must be thinking, sir, it is same as that of the ledger account, isn't it? Yes, it is. But please remember, it is not the ledger account. It is anyway will be called the sub journal only, right? Yes, it is similar to the ledger account, and therefore when we prepare the cash book, na, no need to prepare the cash account, no need to prepare the ledger of cash account separately as well. This is the beauty of cash book, right? Now we have the debit side, now we have the credit side. And what we are going to enter in the debit side, as we have seen in the ledger account, whatever we have posted from the journal to the ledger, na, in the same way the cash book is going to work. How? Let me give you an example. Again, same example. We are selling something, we are receiving the cash. So cash account debit to sales account. So cash account, we are going to enter in the debit side. What we are going to enter? From where we are receiving this money, right? From where we are receiving this money. And we are going to enter sales, and we are going to enter from where we are receiving it, and we are going to enter the amount as well, right? So single column cash book is only going to enter amount of cash. So if we are receiving the cash, we are going to enter it. But suppose we are receiving the money in our bank account, that is not going to be entered in the single column cash book, right? So it is just like the cash account, right? So this is the example I'm going to give you. This is the cash book of the Rupa traders. Okay, we have the cash in hand. This is the general book we have. We have the cash in hand, 30,000. So what you are going to do? You are going to write balance brought down 30,000. Easy enough. This is the just brought down. Then we have this cash receipt from Gurmeet. Now tell me, what would be the general entry of this transaction? Cash receipt from Gurmeet, cash account debit to Gurmeet. Easy enough. And how you are going to enter it into the cash book? Into the debit side, of the cash book, you are going to enter Gurmeet, just like we did in the ledger account. Same. So 12,000. Similarly, we are going to enter all the entries, and then we are going to balance it, and we are going to write carried down either in the debit side or in the credit side, wherever the amount is less. So when we are going to sum the debit side, we are getting 88,200. But when we are going to sum this credit side, we will be having an amount which is less than 88,200, and the amount which is less is 23,400. So we are going to write balance carried down here in the 23,400. It is not very much important, from the examination point of view. You don't you are not going to be asked to prepare the cash book or ledger account from the transaction or journal book. I'm just giving you this thing from the understanding point of view, so that you know what actually is this cash book and cash account, right? So it is similar to ledger account, but remember, it is a sub general, right? Okay. So now we have, so do you think, looking at the cash book, should we prepare separate ledger account for cash? Do you really think? Tell me in the chat section. Do you think if we are preparing the cash book, do we need to prepare the separate ledger account for cash? Tell me in the chat section. Everyone? Everyone. Okay, I have started to get the answers. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we don't need to prepare the cash account. That's good. Okay, because everything is entered in the cash book itself. Okay, chalo. Now let's talk about the double column cash book. Easy enough. Just like the single column cash book we have the double column cash book. The difference is only that apart from the cash column, we also have the bank column in both of the sides, in the debit side as well, in the credit side as well. So just like we did in the previous case, we are selling something and we are receiving the cash from the third party. We are going to enter it in the cash book. But suppose we are receiving the money into our bank account, then we are going to enter that amount into the bank column only, right? Clear? Very easy. Chalo. Now let's talk about the purchase book. Now, before getting into the details of purchase book, what we learned? We learned that whenever we are purchasing goods on cash basis, we are going to record it on the cash book. Okay. Whatever we are purchasing on the cash basis, whatever we are paying on a cash basis, we are going to enter it in the cash book. So similarly, when we are purchasing other things apart from the goods, even if we are purchasing equipments, even if we are purchasing the machinery, then also we are entering it into the cash book, isn't it? That is clear to you. But in the purchase book, listen to me very carefully. This is going to be important. In the purchase book, when you are purchasing goods on credit, see, we are purchasing something on cash. You can't enter same transaction at two places. Now, when you are purchasing something on the cash basis, are you going to place it on the cash book or in the purchase book? You are going to place it on the cash book because you are purchasing it on the cash basis. But if you are purchasing it on the credit basis, then only you are going to use your purchase book. Remember this thing, huh? When you are purchasing something on credit basis, then you are going to use your purchase book. Okay. But if you are purchasing other things like office equipment, furniture, table, computers on the credit basis, are you going to use the purchase book? No. Remember this thing. No, 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 a big no. Purchase book is only prepared to purchase the goods for trading or to manufacture, right? You only enter the purchase entries of the goods in the into the purchase book, and that too only the credit purchases, not the purchases of the assets. These are entered, these things, these purchase of assets are entered in some other book. We are going to talk about it, don't worry about that, right? So now you know only the credit purchase of goods are going to get recorded in the purchase book. Now tell me one thing, what will be the format? This will be the format. Now, this is not as same as the purchase account. Listen to me very carefully. This is not as same as the purchase account. Only the debit side of purchase account, only the debit side, whatever is entered in the debit side of purchase account, it is similar to that only. So in the purchase book, what you are going to write, suppose you have purchased the material for this pen from XYZ. So you are going to write here name of supplier XYZ, and you are going to write the amount what you are going to pay to him or whatever you have paid. So if you have paid, you are not going to enter it into the purchase book. But if you have purchased the goods on the credit basis, then you are going to write the amount here, what amount is due to him, right? So you are going to write 1 lakh, suppose. So you have purchased goods, you have written the name of XYZ, whatever is your supply, whoever is your supplier. You have written the date and you have written the invoice number. That's it. That's how you prepare the purchase book. Okay? So it is not exactly same as the purchase account. It is not in the purchase book we have debit and credit. No, remember this thing, huh? In the purchase account we have debit and we have credit, but in the purchase book we have only this thing. We have only the debit side, you can say, no credit side. Okay? Got it? Okay. So whatever you are purchasing, you just have to write it. You just have to write it. From this supplier we have purchased this thing. From this supplier we have purchased this thing. That's it. Okay. So this is the example. This is the example of Kanika Traders. She has purchased some items from Nima Electronics. So it has written Nima Electronics in the name of supplier. And this Kanika Traders also wrote the amount of the supplies, right? Then again, she has purchased something. This Kanika Traders has purchased something from Pawan Traders on August 10. They have written the entry like this. This is very easy, nothing very technical here, right? Okay, that's good. Chalo. Now let's talk about the purchase return. Acha, one thing more I want to ask you. Tell me, if I am preparing the purchase book. So if I am preparing the purchase book, do I need to prepare the purchase account or not? Do let me know in the chat section. Tell me, if I am preparing the purchase book, do I need to prepare the purchase account? Listen to me very carefully. Huh? Don't answer me in very haste or in a very hurry. Understand, analyze the question, then answer me. Oh, all are correct. Acha, tell me, acha, all are saying yes. Tell me why we need to prepare the this purchase account, even if we are preparing the purchase book. Yeah, that's good, Sanjana. Yeah, and everyone else. Yeah, Ashutosh Sharma, that's good. credit side, we are not recording the credit side. We are, and one more reason is that we are in the purchase book now. What is happening? We are only recording the credit purchases, but in the purchase account, we are recording in the purchase account, that is the ledger account, we are recording all the purchases, even if it is cash purchase, even if it is credit purchase. In the purchase account, we are entering every purchase. That's why we need to prepare the purchase account as well, even if we are using the purchase book. Okay, that's good, that's good, very good. Chalo, what is purchase return? Easy enough. So basically, when we have purchased something and when we want to return it, okay, then we use the purchase return book. But here one thing is very important. I'm going to explain it to you. This is going to be important in the subsidiary book. This point is going to be the most important point. That is your debit note and your credit note. People often get confused between these two. I have seen, in fact, many teachers who are confused between debit note and credit note. I'm going to give you a trick in which you are going to understand, and by using which you are going to learn when debit note is going to get prepared and when credit note is going to get prepared. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Suppose we have purchased something from our supplier. Okay, we have purchased something from our supplier. Now we are not paying him the money. He or she is our creditor. Third party is our creditor. So we have credited his account. Okay, that is clear. We have purchased something, so purchase account debit, and that party suppose is ABC Limited. Okay, so we have we have created his or her account, that is ABC account we have created. Now we have returned some good. Listen to me very carefully. Now we have returned some good. Okay, so earlier we owe 1 lakh rupees. Suppose we have purchased the goods worth rupees 1 lakh. See, so we owe him 1 lakh rupees. We have to pay him or her 1 lakh rupees after 1 month. But before paying him the money, we have returned goods worth rupees 20,000. We have returned goods worth rupees 20,000. Okay. Now tell me, what will be the credit amount? What will be the new credit amount for the ABC? It will be 80,000 only. Now, when we have returned goods worth rupees 20,000, his account is going to get debited. His account is going to get debited by 20,000, isn't it? Because now we don't owe 1 lakh rupees to him or her. Now we only owe 80,000 because we have returned the goods worth rupees 20,000. So we are going to debit his account. We are going to debit his account by 20,000. Thereby, now he is a creditor of only 80,000. So what we are doing? We are debiting his account now. So that's where we prepare the debit note. Remember this thing. That's where we prepare the debit note to show him or her. Okay, we are preparing the debit note. I'll give you the example. Just wait a minute. This is the format of debit note. So we are preparing the debit note and we are writing it here that we have returned this much of goods and we are going to debit your account by this much amount. This is the use of debit note. Remember this thing. This is very important. People often get confused between debit note and credit note. So when we are purchasing something and when we are returning and we are debiting his account, so we are informing him. So we are returning these much goods worth rupees, these things, and we are debiting your account. This is the intimation we are giving to the supplier. That's why we use debit note. Everyone is clear about the debit note now? Tell me in the chat section. Everyone. Yeah, debit note is created by the buyer. Aditya? Good. Yeah, everyone is clear. Okay. ठीक है, चलो. Now similarly, we prepare the credit note. ठीक है, similarly, we prepare the credit note when we do a sales return. So first, let's understand what is sales book and why sales book we prepare. So again, just like the purchase book, when we do sale on credit basis only, then we use sales book. So cash sales of good, that is not going to be entered in the sales book. No, this is not going to be entered in the sales book. Okay, because this is getting recorded in the cash book. So single transaction is going to be recorded at only one place because they all are journal books. So it is going to be recorded only in one book. Now, if there is credit sale, obviously it is going to get recorded in the sales book. Okay, that's good. Chalo. Now format again very easy. Lakshmi Traders account, sales account, as you know, these are the ledger account. And what is the format of sales book? Again, the credit side, of sales account will look like exactly as the sales book. ठीक है? So you are going to write the customer's name here, you are going to write the date here, you are going to write the invoice number here, and the ledger folio and the amount. Very easy, nothing very technical here, nothing to explain anything here, right? Same as the purchase book, we have the sales book, right? Okay, so Umesh is asking, if we are maintaining cash book, do we need to maintain cash account as well? No, no, I have told you na, if we are maintaining cash book, no need to prepare the cash account, because cash book and cash account are almost same. In fact, they are same, because both of debit side and credit side is going to get entered into the cash book itself. ठीक है, चलो. Now, this is the example. So you have sold your goods to Raman Traders. You have entered your customer name here. You have entered the amount as well, and you have totaled it. Very easy, nothing technical here. Chalo. Now let's talk about the sales return book. So when we have sold something earlier, and now we are basically we have sold something, and that party is returning us goods. They are not liking the good. They are returning us goods. Then we use sales return book, right? And again, the format is same, nothing very technical here. You are only going to write the name of the customer who is returning us good. But the important point again here to remember is that you need to prepare the credit note. And why we are using credit note? Why not debit note? See, again, listen to me very carefully. We are selling goods on credit basis. First of all, earlier we have sold goods on credit basis, na? So that means ki that other person is our debtor, isn't it? So we always debit our debtors. Suppose XYZ, we are going to debit it and we are going to credit sales. This is a general entry you all know. Now, he has returned goods to us. He has returned goods to us. Now, and earlier we have sold goods worth rupees 1 lakh, and he has returned goods worth rupees 20,000. Now he don't owe us 1 lakh rupees, because he has returned goods worth rupees 20,000 to us. So now he only owes us 80,000 rupees. He only owes us 80,000 rupees. So now the credit note is going to get prepared to intimate that your account is going to get credited by 20,000, because earlier when we have sold goods, we have debited his account, isn't it? Because he was our debtor. So we have earlier debited his account. Now when he is returning goods to us, we are going to intimate him. And I will show you the format as well. Okay, we don't have the format. Same as the credit note, we have the debit note format, right? See, here it is. Debit note is prepared by the buyer and credit note is prepared by the seller. ठीक है? So same format is same as we have in the debit note, we have the credit note. ठीक है? So now seller is informing us कि credit our account into your books of account, because we are going to credit na, because he has returned goods to us. Everyone is clear about the credit note, na? Debit note and credit note. If you want me to explain it again, I am going to explain it again as well. Tell me in the chat section, are you clear? The trick behind it. When we are going to credit his account, we are receiving the credit note. But when we are going to debit his account, then we are going to issue debit note. Everyone is clear about the credit note and debit note. The trick to remember here is that, are we debiting his account or are we crediting his account? If we are debiting his account, we have debit note. If we are crediting his account, we have credit note. Okay, everyone saying clear. Okay, that's very good. Sanjana is saying clear. Okay. Sarish is saying sir again please. Okay. So मैं एक बार हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. आई एम गोइंग टू रिपीट दिस थिंग इन हिंदी. सो हमने कुछ सामान खरीदा, ठीक है, हमने कुछ सामान खरीदा अपने सप्लायर से. तो जब हमने सामान खरीदा ना, हमने क्रेडिट बेसिस पे खरीदा. सो व्हेन वी हैव परचेज द गुड्स ऑन द क्रेडिट बेसिस ना, तो हम क्या करेंगे, दैट पर्सन बिकम्स आर क्रेडिटर. वो हमारा क्या बन गया, क्रेडिटर बन गया. हमने क्योंकि उससे सामान ले लिया, तो हमने उसका अकाउंट कर दिया क्रेडिट. ध्यान देना, उसका अकाउंट हमने कर दिया क्रेडिट, हमने जो सामान उससे खरीदा. ठीक है, यहाँ पे हो जाएगा परचेज अकाउंट। बस ध्यान ये रखना है, अब अगर हमें पसंद नहीं आया सामान उसका, वी डोंट लाइक हिज गुड्स, तो हमने सामान कर दिया उसको वापस, हमने कर दिया सामान उसको वापस। अब हम उसका अकाउंट क्या करेंगे बताओ सरीश? अगर हमने उसका सामान वापस कर दिया, अब उसके अकाउंट को हम क्या करेंगे, डेबिट की क्रेडिट? टेल मी व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू। टेल मी सरीश, व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डेबिट? नो, सरीश टेल मी। प्राज इज सेइंग डेबिट, आई वांट सरीश टू आंसर। या, सो अब हम उसका अकाउंट डेबिट करेंगे। तो हम क्या प्रिपेयर कर देंगे, डेबिट नोट, क्योंकि हम इसको इंटीमेट कर रहे हैं कि जितना जितना हमने सामान आपको वापस किया है, हमने कुछ खरीदा था ना, तो हम जितना सामान वापस कर रहे हैं, तो आपका अकाउंट उतने ही अमाउंट से हम डेबिट कर दे रहे हैं। अब हम आपको 1 लाख रुपए नहीं देंगे, अब हम आपको 80,000 रुपीज ही देंगे। ये मैं आपको इंटीमेट कर दे रहा हूँ थ्रू द डेबिट नोट। क्लियर? क्रेडिट नोट, सिमिलर टू दिस डेबिट नोट वी हैव दी क्रेडिट नोट, बड़ा आसान। इन फैक्ट इंस्टेड ऑफ परचेजिंग गुड्स वी आर नाउ सेलिंग गुड्स। अब हम खरीद नहीं रहे, अब हम सामान को बेच रहे हैं। हमने सामान बेचा एंड वी सोल्ड गुड्स वर्थ रुपीज लेट्स से 2 लाख रुपीज। अब हमारे कस्टमर को सामान पसंद नहीं आया, उसने 50,000 का सामान हमें वापस कर दिया। अब अगर हमने सामान जब बेचा था, व्हेन वी हैव सोल्ड गुड्स ना, तो व्हाट वाज द एंट्री? सेल्स अकाउंट, सेल्स अकाउंट credit, we have done sales account as our credit entry, and what we did for debit entry, that person account, because that person becomes our debtor ना। हमने सामान अगर बेचा, हम अगर रुपए नहीं ले रहे हैं, तो that person becomes our debtor, so that will be XYZ debit, and the amount of debt will be 2 लाख रुपीज। ना उसने हमें वापस कर दिया सामान 50,000 रुपीज का, 50,000 रुपीज का सामान वापस कर दिया। तो अब हम उसके अकाउंट को क्या करेंगे सरीश, डेबिट करेंगे कि क्रेडिट करेंगे? टेल मी। उसने हमें सामान वापस कर दिया, पहले हमने इसको 2 लाख रुपए का सामान बेचा था, पर उसने 50,000 तो वापस कर दिया ना। अब ही डोंट ओ अस 2 लाख रुपीज। ठीक है, अब हम उसका अकाउंट क्या करेंगे, कितने से क्रेडिट कर देंगे? क्रेडिट, यस, वी आर गोइंग टू क्रेडिट 50,000। सो दैट्स व्हाई ही इज गिविंग अस क्रेडिट नोट, कि भैया मेरा अकाउंट क्रेडिट कर दो, मेरा अकाउंट क्रेडिट कर दो। ठीक है, दैट्स व्हाई। चलो, वेरी गुड, नाउ एवरीवन इज क्लियर। एक मिनट, सो शुभांक is asking one more thing, why are we creating credit note instead of why are we doing debit note, or is it for each time? It is not mandatory to maintain the debit note and credit note na, but it is advisable to maintain it, because see, when he is returning our goods, so he is informing us, that we are returning your goods, do create our account in your books of account, because we have already done so. So, and similarly, when we are returning goods to him na, we are basically telling him ki we are preparing the debit note and we are debiting your account, and whatever is the case, even if it is debit or credit, we are just informing him कि now ऐसा इसलिए करते हैं, why we are doing it, because to have the mutual understanding कि both of the amounts are equal in both of the accounts book. His accounts book are different, our accounts book are different, so we are basically communicating each other कि this thing we have returned to you and these goods they have returned to us, only for the information purpose and for the accounting purpose as well, right? Okay. Now his Shubhang is clear. Okay. Yeah, Prasad, for credit and debit note, we need to do the separate journal entries. It is a complete transaction. You are returning goods, right? So if you have purchased something, you have returned goods, na? So purchase return entry you are going to do. ठीक है? That you have to do. चलो. That's why you are entering it into the general book. ठीक है? चलो. Now everything is clear. Okay. So Dip is asking which formula is good for accounting entries, golden rule or other equation method. See, when you practice the criteria I have told you on the later part of the class, that is accounting equation method, that will be very quick. You will be able to quick see what happens. You just need to remember कि asset बढ़ा तो you need to debit it. ठीक है, liability बढ़ी तो you need to credit it. इतना ही तो याद रखना है, that's it. वो तो मैंने इतनी लंबी टेबल बताई क्योंकि आई हैव टू टेल यू ऑल द थिंग्स ना, बट यू जस्ट नीड टू रिमेंबर दीज टू थिंग्स ओनली. लाइबिलिटीज आर सेम एज कैपिटल ना, सो असेट बढ़ेंगे तो डेबिट होना है, इफ यू रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, और असेट तो फायदा है तो डेबिट होगा. And if liabilities are increasing, you are going to credit your account, or liabilities are similar to capital because capital is also included in the liability side. So liability बड़ी तो credit कर रहे हैं. So if the capital is increasing, so that's why you are also crediting it. तो इतना ही तो याद रखना है. Rest expenses and incomes you already know from the golden rules of accounting. कि incomes you have to credit, expenses you have to debit. So it becomes easy, very easy. When you practice now, it becomes very easy, right? चलो. Yeah, okay, चलो. Now let's come to the journal proper. ठीक है? Let's come to the journal proper. What is the time? 8:30, I guess. Okay. So whatever entry we haven't entered in these books are going to be entered in the general sales return book. ठीक है? Whatever entry is left, we are going to enter it in the journal proper. So following entry can be recorded in the journal proper. Which two entries? Which entries? Sale and purchase of items on credit other than goods. So if we are buying furniture, if you are buying the machinery on the credit terms, then we are going to enter it in the journal proper. Goods withdrawn by the owner for personal use, again general proper, because they are not going to be entered in any other book, right? Goods distributed as samples for sales promotion, general proper. Then loss of goods by fire, theft, spoilage, general proper. So whatever entry is left, we are going to enter it in the general proper. So now I want Sky Trader to give me this answer. Deposited in bank rupees 40,000. So do tell me, and other candidates as well. And I want especially Sky Trader to give me the answer. Deposited in bank rupees 40,000. Should we enter this into the general proper? Yes or no? Tell me. And whoever is watching this lecture, we have this. Tell me, should we enter this? Yeah, we have to enter this into the cash book, not into the general proper. That's very good, right? That's very good. Okay, ठीक है, very good. Next entry is purchased for cash furniture rupees 6,000. Tell me, should we enter it into the general proper or not? Yes or no? Yeah, everyone is saying general proper. Yes, we are going to enter it into the general proper because it is talking about the. Yes or no? No, आई एम कंफ्यूजिंग यू. ठीक है? नो नो नो. अच्छा, तो अगर मैं बोलूंगा हाँ तो आप लोग कहोगे हाँ, और अगर मैं कहूंगा नो तो आप लोग कहोगे नो. We are purchasing the furniture for cash. For cash. So if we are entering something into the cash book, why should we enter it into the general proper? ठीक है? Yes, Aditya, you are correct. Purchase of credit entries only. So purchase of furniture on the credit basis, we are going to enter it into the general proper. And in the second case, what is happening? In the second case, purchased for cash furniture. ठीक है? चलो, very good. So second also, we are not going to enter it into the general proper. ठीक है? Don't go by my words. Use your mind. I am here to confuse you. I am here to make you understand how to apply your mind. ठीक है? Purchased on accounts, third entry. Purchased on account furniture from Quality Furniture Limited rupees 8,000. Tell me. Purchased on account. Account means on the credit basis. And we are purchasing the furniture. Tell me if it is, if it will be entered in the general proper or not. Again, you are. Tell me, everyone. I want everyone to answer. Most of you are saying yes, and most of you are correct. Yes. It will be entered in the general proper. Yes, that's good. Chalo. Paid for advertisement, rupees 1,200. Obviously, it is paid in cash, so no. Now I'm going to give you answers. Huh? Sales to Miss Nutan on account wide, invoice number 958. So sales of goods, not of the furniture. So no, it will not be entered in the general proper. Paid electricity bill. Electricity bill we usually pay in cash. So no, this will not be entered into the general proper. Made full and final payment of 1680. Pending was 2,000. To Miss Burari Limited by check. Discount allowed by them rupees. Tell me. Now tell me the answer of seventh question. Should we enter it into the general proper or not? Yes or no? We are settling our final payment and we are giving discount as well. Huh? Tell me. Yes, everyone is saying yes. That's good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Nice. So it will be entered. Good. Paid telephone bill through check. Tell me if this eighth entry is going to be entered into the general proper or not. Yes or no? Eighth entry. Good. Everyone is saying no. Yes, it will not be entered in the general proper because why? Because we generally usually pay the telephone bill through check or cash, right? Purchase stationery on account. Stationery is not a good. Remember, it is not the goods, right? So it will be entered into the general proper because it is not the good, and also it is being purchased on credit basis on account. So it will be entered. Yes, everyone, very good. Chalo, let's move ahead. And how you're going to show your entries in the general proper? Same as we do the general entries. Nothing very new. Okay, whatever is the entry, you are going to do that. Chalo, very nice. We have one PYQ as well now. Okay. So this PYQ is, let me close the mobile. Debit what comes in, credit was what goes dash. So what will be the answer? Up, down, out, diagonal, none of the above. What is the option here? Diagonal is. So what will be the answer? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Everyone, this is the actual question that has been asked. Huh? Diagonal. Okay, out. Okay, that's right. That's good. Okay. Chalo. Very nice. Okay. And what is this rule belongs to basically which category of account? Real account, personal account, or the nominal account? Tell me that as well. Though it is not the question, I'm asking you which for which account this is the rule. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Everyone? Yeah, real account. Wait a minute. Akshay is saying nominal account. Akshay, don't say this, huh? Nominal accounts are the expenses and the incomes account, ठीक है? Dip is saying middle वाला real account. Yeah, real account, ठीक है. Very good. चलो. Now let's move ahead with the homework question as well. You have to answer these question in the comment section. And one more thing, you have to give me the feedback. And I'm not receiving your feedback. Tell me, did you enjoy this class or not? Have you been able to recognize what to debit and what to credit or not? Do let me know in the chat section. Not in the chat section. In this email ID. Right now, I'm asking you to do this thing. Hello at edutap.co.in. I am I have sent the email ID to you. Just give me the feedback whether you have enjoyed the class or not, and whether it was helpful for you to identify which account to debit and which account to credit. Have I been able to help you in taking away your fear of debit and credit, to identify which account to debit and which account to credit or not? Right now, I'm asking you right now to give me the feedback in the email section. Then I'm going to take the questions one by one. Thank you, Prachi. But you have to give the feedback in the email ID I have provided you. Okay? Everyone. And when you have done so now, when you have mailed me in this email ID, just write yes in the chat section. Then I will move ahead with the doubt session. If you have any doubt, chalo, let me know in the chat section. Write yes when you have done that. When you have emailed me at hello@edutap.co.in, na, just write yes in the chat section right now. Okay. If this live session was helpful for you or not, just open the Gmail or email app in the background. Na? Just email me and type yes in the chat section. And then we are going to, then I'm going to take your doubts as well. And this homework question, you have to comment me in the comment section of the YouTube. Okay, everyone. Then I will let you know in the YouTube section ki you are correct or not. Which of the following is the first book in which transaction of business units are recorded, which is paid for installation of machinery is debited to which of the following accounts, and general entry to record the salaries. Chalo. Right? Yes. Not the answer of these questions. Email me if this live session was helpful for you or not. Have I have been able to take away the fear of debit and credit or not? Have you given me the feedback? Prachi is saying yes, that's good. Email me and type yes here. Okay, so fast, everyone. That's good. HP is saying second question I'm not getting. Wages paid for installation of machinery is debited to which of the following account? This is very easy, huh? Not very easy, but this is a good question. But I won't tell you the answer right now. But in the next class, I'm going to tell you answer, obviously, because if I tell you answer right now, then what is the use of commenting in the YouTube now? Just apply your mind and try to solve this question. I will be giving you the answer in the next class as well. Don't worry about that. So everyone is saying, yes, they have given me the email. Okay, that's very good. Chalo fir. Now, that's all for today's class. And whoever has not joined the crash course, I want them to join the crash course because one more class is left for free in the YouTube, and rest of the classes I'm going to provide in the course only. So we have 75 live classes for the paper 1 and for the paper 2 as well. So if you haven't joined it, you need to join it. Yes. So everyone's saying you have emailed me. Okay. So let me stop sharing this screen with you. And if you have any doubts, if any doubts are left with you, you can ask me, right? Don't worry about the doubts. Tell me if you have any doubts. And if not, then what is the homework for you? You need to revise each and everything we have discussed in the first 2 classes, right? The PDF of the first class, I think, has already been provided to you, and the PDF of second class is going to be provided to you, I think, tomorrow in the tomorrow afternoon. So you need to revise each and everything, whatever we have covered. In the next class, what we are going to do? We are going to understand the trial balance and the types of errors. So after journal, ledger comes, after ledger, trial balance come, after the trial balance, we make income statement, or we can say profit loss statement and the balance sheet. Okay? Chalo. Okay, Aditya is asking something. 1 pager or 2 pager type notes for every day? Aditya, this is not possible. 1 pager or 2 pager types for all of these PPTs. You don't see. I'm going to provide you a certain tip. What happens now when you have studied the PPT from me? Now you know what is written where. Okay? So when you are going to go through it again, na, and after going it through once, and then after it, when again you are going to repeat it, that will be faster. And if you want to prepare your own notes, you can do so from the PDF itself. But 1 pager or 2 pager for the for every day, I think it's not feasible. And HP is asking, any books for reference or your notes classes are enough? Classes are enough, and you need to refer to the summary sheets as well. But you can refer to MCQs and quizzes as much as possible. You can refer to any MCQ, you can refer to any mocks, you can refer to any quiz. There will be no restriction. But from the content point of view, material is enough as far as syllabus is concerned, right? HP, clear? Okay, so one by one, Praj is saying not reflected to subscribed account. I didn't get your question, Praj. What are you trying to convey to me? Not reflected to subscribed account sit yet. I don't get your question, Praj. Okay, Aditya is asking for last time preparation. Don't worry, we have the time. For right now, focus what I'm teaching and focus on the live classes. I'm going to give you tips as well for the last time preparation. Don't worry about that. Whenever there is, whenever we have 10 to 15 days left now, 15 days approximately left for the phase 1 examination, I'm going to give you tips as well for the last 15 days. Don't worry. Okay, so Dip is again saying for the mind maps. Okay. Damin is asking, hi sir, what kind of question can come with regard to format of this account? No, you don't need to format the, no, you don't need to memorize the format. See, you just need to understand the format. So if you know ki when you have sold something to outside party in cash, you know na ki you are going to credit the sales and you are going to debit the cash. So cash account debit to sales account. That's it. This is the format. Cash account, debit to sales account. Format is clear to you, right? You are not going to be, you are not going to see questions from the format itself. You are not going to have a question like prepare the trial balance, prepare the whole ledger account. No, not like that. All right. Okay. Aditi sir, please explain purchase on account and sale on account means. Okay, Aditi, purchase on account means we are purchasing something on credit. That's what we meant by purchase on account when we talked about the general proper na, or when we talked about the subsidiary books. When it was written that purchase on account means we are not paying that party the cash. What we are doing, we are purchasing on account, we are purchasing on credit. And similarly we have the sale on accounts. Clear, Aditi? Okay. Aditi, clear now? Okay. Next question is Sarish is asking, sir, the MCQs in this course is enough? Any source for? Uh, Honestly, if I tell you very honestly now, you need to refer to more MCQs as well. There is nothing called enough in the MCQs or in the quizzes. It is beneficial for you to attempt as many as MCQ as possible for you to attempt. Don't get afraid or don't be casual about attempting the quizzes, mocks, and MCQs. Classes are enough. Okay, whatever content we are providing, that are enough. Though quizzes and MCQs are also enough, but it is in your benefit to practice more MCQs from the Google itself. You have so many free websites that are providing you. You have the let me tell you the website as well. You have the Topper website, website, in which you will find the 12th class, 11th class MCQs for free. You can attempt that. Type the chapter name and ask them to give you the MCQs in the Google. You will find various MCQs. Go to the Oxford website. You will find the economics MCQs. See, by attempting the MCQs, what happens now? You will be able to connect to the concept, underlying concept for that MCQ very fast, and that is going to help you in the actual examination. That's why MCQs are very important, right? Obviously, content is also important. You need to study it, you need to revise it multiple times, but MCQs you need to basically attempt more and more. Okay, clear? Okay, so next question. Akshay saying, why are labor unions are included in external users? Because labor unions are external users, na? See, they are not the part of the organization. We are not talking about labor unions which are part of the organization itself. In the organization we have the employees, but for the industry we have the labor unions. Their committee is separate, so they are the external users, right? So that's why we are including this in external users. Because what happens now, when there is pay disparity, suppose we are the laborers of any manufacturing firm and we feel that we are not being paid enough, so we can complain it to the labor unions, and they can see the financial statements. Okay, this company earns a lot, even then also they are not paying the laborers enough money. So that's how these financial statements are analyzed by the labor unions as well. That's why they are the external users, because they can also analyze the financial statements and they can judge if the company is paying enough money or sufficient money to their laborers or not. Is your doubt clear? Why we are including labor unions as the users of the financial statement and specifically external users? Is this clear? Okay. Next question. Praj is saying recorded videos and summary sheets. Summary sheets are already there in the course. As far as recorded videos are concerned, see, Praj, when you will go to the course, na, you have that summary sheets are already there. I have checked that. They are in advance for each chapter. But as far as recorded videos are concerned, I think that should have been uploaded yet. But if it isn't, if it has not been uploaded yet, do mail to the SEBI this hello@edutap.co.in and ask the team to upload it as soon as possible. But I think it has been uploaded, but I will check it again, right? And do ask the team to upload it as soon as possible. Okay, recorded for the recorded videos. Summary sheets are there beforehand as well. Okay, Dhawal is asking, so that general proper entry, okay. General proper entry regarding full and final payment having discount in it, we will record only discount entry. What is the question? Okay, that general proper entry regarding full and final payment having discount, we will record only discount entry and not the full entry, correct? In the general proper you are asking. Now we are going to you are going to record a complete entry in the general proper. ठीक है? ठीक है? धवल? Aditya Singh, thank you. See you tomorrow. Okay, welcome Aditya. Shubhankar said we're able to get the PPT on the same day or bit earlier next day. Yes, Shubhankar, just mail this thing. Ki please in to the support department. Just mail this thing. Ki please upload the PDF as soon as possible when the class is over, and recorded sessions can be uploaded later. Please mail this thing to the hello@edutap.co.in. Right? They will address your query definitely. Okay, so I think everything is clear now. Okay, Praj is asking, please explain creditor and debtor concept as we know its meaning, but not got the concept in MCQ. See, creditor and debtor concept. Praj, creditor is someone who has paid us the credit. Suppose we मान लो कि हमने कुछ सामान खरीदा एंड वी हैवंट पेड दी मनी, ठीक है, तो हमने रुपए पे नहीं किए, तो दैट पर्सन बिकम्स आर क्रेडिटर. एंड हु इज आर डेटर? व्हेन वी हैव सोल्ड समथिंग, जब हमने कुछ सामान बेचा और हमने उससे पैसे रिसीव नहीं किए, ठीक है, तो दैट पर्सन बिकम्स आर डेटर. इजी इनफ, ठीक है, बहुत आसान है. अगर हमने उधार लिया तो जिससे उधार लिया वो हमारा क्रेडिटर हो गया. अगर हमने उधार दिया तो दैट पर्सन बिकम्स आर डेटर. ठीक है, इजी इनफ. Okay, Deep is saying, sir, is there separate live classes held for phase 2? Yeah, there will be separate classes for phase 2 as well. Don't worry. Okay, so everyone is clear? Okay, chalo. I am ending this meeting right now. I think I have cleared each and every doubt. Okay, chalo. Tata, bye bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Damini. Welcome. Okay, chalo. I am ending this meeting. Okay, tata, bye bye. We are going to meet in the